Welcome back, everyone, to another Wargiven Racing podcast. This week, talking about the Richmond race weekend for the NASCAR Cup Series and the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Let's hop on in. So, just some basic track information. This 3/4 mile oval opened in 1946, with its first Cup race being held 7 years later on as it was a dirt track. So, the first 15, 16 years of operation for the NASCAR Cup Series was as a dirt track on the schedule. However, it was paved in 1968, and then its half-mile original layout was redesigned into the current 3/4 of a mile D-shaped oval in 1988. This track has 4 races across the top 3 series, with the Cup Series having both a spring and fall date. The Truck Series usually occupies this race weekend. However, it has been switched with the Xfinity date. So the trucks now race in the fall, and the Xfinity cars now race in the spring. They each race one apiece at the track. And then this is the 131st Cup race at the track, with Alex Bowman being the defending winner after taking the lead late last spring from Denny Hamlin. And then this is the 76th Xfinity race for Richmond, and Noah Gragson won, I believe it was his second race in a row last year at Richmond after the Darlington Xfinity race. So moving on to the Toyota Care 250, which is the Xfinity race this week. It is race number 7 on their schedule, 7 of 33 and then 7 of 26 in the regular season. There are 42 cars once again entered, although there has been some news regarding various cars being entered. The number 92 DGM car is now moving part-time due to sponsorship reasons after having a good run last week out at COTA. But the number 77 of Bassett Racing showed up on the entry list this week, so that's why it remained at 42 entries. Ty Gibbs won the pole with John Hunter Nemechek driving in the 18 Joe Gibbs Toyota, qualifying on the outside of the front row. And then our 4 DNQs for this week are the 45 from Alpha Prime Racing, the 52 from Means Racing, the 55 from BJ McLeod Motorsports, and the 77 from Bassett Racing. So the race is actually going green in about 45 minutes, with 250 laps split up 75, 75, and 100. The race is on FS1. And looking at who I think is going to win today, obviously Ty Gibbs is on the pole. Nemechek is on the outside, and Nemechek actually ran here in the fall last year, and I believe finished 5th, which was Sam Hunt's first top 5 in the Xfinity Series. So I think we're going to have, Gibbs, Nemechek battling throughout the day. I think Josh Berry, despite not qualifying the best, is actually going to be the strongest car in the field. It's just, does he have the track position to get up to the front of the field? Sam Mayer's quick on short tracks, as he won a truck race at Bristol in 2020. Let's see, Noah Gragson obviously won here last year, so he is going to be quick again today. So I think it's going to be a battle between those cars. Ultimately, I think Josh Berry will pull it off. I know Ty Gibbs has had the overall race pace through their practice session, but I honestly think that Berry will be able to make up for his starting position a bit farther back and will succeed in winning his first race of the season, getting himself locked into the Xfinity playoffs at this moment in time. So looking at the point standings, Noah Gragson is still first in the regular season points, 1 point ahead of AJ Allmendinger. Ty Gibbs, Justin Allgaier, and Josh Berry round out your top 5. Your last 4 in is Sam Mayer, Ryan Sieg, Sheldon Creed, and Riley Herbst, with Brandon Brown, Landon Castle, Anthony Alfredo, and Brett Moffitt being the first 4 out. Trevor Bayne, with his 3 starts, still remains in the top 20, a testament to his good runs in those 3 races. And then looking at the playoffs, we've got 4 winners running the full Xfinity season at the moment. So there's 4 drivers locked in at at this time. The only driver locked in is Ty Gibbs, as he's got 2 wins, meaning that even if there are 13 winners, unless there's 13 two-time winners, which could happen, would it still be mathematically? It'd be close because Cole Custer won the second race, and then so it still could be done. No, actually, it couldn't. I can't math right now. So, actually, Ty Gibbs is locked in officially, unless he drops out in the top 20 points, which at the moment he's got 134 points up on 20th. So I don't see that happening. So he is officially in the playoffs. And then moving on to the Cup race, which is the Toyota Owners 400. One thing to note, this is not a mile race, just like the Xfinity race. It's not a mile race, it's a lap. This is a lap race, so the 400 is 400 laps. The 250 and the Xfinity race is for 250 laps, just to clarify. So this is the 7th race. Also, we are approaching the 25% mark of the overall season. There are 37 cars entered for this weekend's race. Greg Biffle is the only open team to show up this week after we had 3 teams show up for COTA. Ryan Blaney won the pole with William Byron qualifying on the outside on the front row. And then the race is tomorrow at 3:45 Eastern on Fox. 400 laps split up 70, 160, and 170, continuing the infuriating trend of NASCAR not keeping stage lengths consistent, despite handing out equal points for Stage 1 and Stage 2. Drives me up a wall. Other things to note, 2 cars, due to inspection failures, have to serve penalties. So that is the 31 of Justin Haley and the 44, yes. The 44 of Greg Biffle. They both failed inspection 3 times, so they did not qualify today, plus they have to have a drive-through penalty, which will cost them at least 1 lap, probably 2 laps. So Biffle's race is essentially ruined. Haley, since he's faster than Biffle, will be able to use the stage caution, most likely to get back on the lead lap. Maybe he'll get lucky and NASCAR will throw a comp caution, which is utterly ridiculous if they do. Which would then get him back on the lap quicker, but I really hope they don't do that. Talking about who I think is going to run strong, Blaney, again, quick, his 3rd pole of the season. William Byron's up there. Who else qualified in the top 10? Let's see. There were 3 Joe Gibbs cars, and they qualified pretty well. Christopher Bell qualified 3rd. SHR had 3 cars, Briscoe, Harvick, and Almirola, but they didn't really do well in that second round. Oh, boy. I think Briscoe's going to be strong. I think Tyler Reddick's going to be strong. Ross Chastain got into the top 10 qualifying as well. Oh, boy. Honestly, I'm going to go with Martin Truex Jr. I think Toyota's going to end their poor run with Richmond winning in the namesake race, the Toyota Owners 400. They're typically pretty strong here. In the spring last year, Denny Hamlin had this race locked up until Alex Bowman kind of jumped him on the last pit stop due to I think did he only take 2 tires? I don't know what they did, but they jumped him on the pit stop. Maybe it was just his pit crew was faster. And I'm pretty sure in the fall, Denny ran pretty strong, competing for the win. So I think that Joe Gibbs will get their first win of the year with Martin Truex Jr., who qualified in the top 10. Kyle Busch is probably going to have a good day until he has a meltdown or something like that. But, yep, I'm going to go with Martin Truex. So with Truex winning, he'd be the first winner over 70. Oh, my Lord. He'd be the first winner over 30 for the season. He'd also be the 7th different winner in 7 races, meaning that only 9 spots are left in the playoffs. And yeah, he would he would probably, with a win, move up to second or third in the playoff standings. Um, I see Kyle Larson have a better week this week, even though he struggled a bit in qualifying. Chris Buescher had a good run um, in practice. I believe he was second in his group, so he's a dark horse to watch out for. He's probably my dark horse if I had to pick one, because I don't consider anyone in the top 15 in points to be a dark horse, and I'm not going to consider Kyle Larson to be a dark horse. Not at all. Other notable names, AJ Allmendinger is running this week again for Kaulig, so keep an eye out if he decides to give the old bumper to Ross Chastain after Chastain's move last week. This is really a race that's one of those, how has the next gen improved on the racing in the Cup Series? We saw at Phoenix that it was better than previous years, although the resin compound put down by NASCAR kind of tainted that, kind of made the top lane better, in which the new car excels in, unlike the old car that needed that assistance up there. There's no resin on the track this week at Richmond, so it's going to be interesting to see if, these cars handle better. Both races last year at Richmond were below average, to say the least. I think this could be one where the Xfinity race does outperform the Cup race, but I'm not going to put money on that. I think it's going to be close. I think this is going to be another average race, but it's going to be better than last year's race in the aspect that we're going to see cars actually struggling on longer runs at this track. Again, we'll never fully know because stage racing and how that works, they're going to most likely have a green flag stop in stage 2 and in stage 3 if there isn't cautions. So we're looking at probably 4 pit stops at the moment to see how the tire performs and all that jazz. Again, this is one where I'm nervously optimistic, or cautiously optimistic. I think the race is going to be better than the previous generation. So I'm excited. Well, that does it for today's preview. Only the 2 races this weekend. Kind of a quiet day for the racing, or the major racing series this week, before it ramps back up next week with IMSA, Formula One, IndyCar, Formula E, NASCAR, all 3 series. Or is it all 3? Yes, all 3 series at Martinsville, which is actually going to be interesting, as Martinsville starts Thursday night, so we're going to have racing action Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. So for a long weekend of NASCAR action, which I, of course, am looking forward to, as I believe all race fans should. With that being said, enjoy the Xfinity race today. Enjoy the Cup race tomorrow. My racing recap will be up on Monday like usual. Thank you all for your support. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on Monday.